Hi guys, my name's Emily and I'm here today to show you a makeup look. This is my first YouTube tutorial, so bear with me because I'm filming it on my iPhone and all lighting is just natural. So with Valentine's coming up, I thought today I would trial a fun look that you might want to wear on your Valentine's night out or just a fun night out on the town. So I'm going to be using some nice reds and some glitters just because it's meant to be a fun look. So let's get started. To begin with, I'm going to prime my eyes for my eyeshadow. I've already got on some foundation and concealer and a bit of setting powder, so I've already done my face near enough. So for my eyes, I always use Urban Decay primer. This is Major Sin. I always get confused. Minor Sin and Urban Decay. And whenever I put this on, my eyeshadow does not budge at all. So just put a little bit on the eyelids. And then you can just use your fingers to tap that in. This actually is almost like, sometimes I just wear this by itself. It's quite nice because it just gives you a little shimmer on the eyelid if you're having like a more natural makeup day. But today we need it purely for a sticking power. I also swear by the MAC paint pot in soft ochre, I'm not sure. So yeah, when I'm doing a look like today where you really want the eyes to stick, I add this on top as well. So I'm going to use a beauty blender and pat this on the eye. Also, this is a nice pale neutral colour, so when you're using a look where you want colours to pop, it's basically just starting with a blank canvas. So you just smoosh that on there, like so. As I said, I want it to be a Valentine's look, and I recently purchased the Huda Beauty in Mauve Obsessions. I absolutely adore this palette. Little excess. The colours in it are all so nice, and when I bought it I was like, £25 and it's such a teeny tiny palette, but actually the pigmentation in them is so worth it, and a little really does go a long way. So firstly, I'm going to start with the middle colour in the palette, this kind of browny one here, and the brush I'm using is from Zoeva. It's a Luxe Crease 228 brush. It's quite like a chubby brush. I really like this for when I am working into the crease. So just put a bit on the brush and then just tap off any excess, and then we're literally just going to put it in our crease line just to start building up the colour. But you can see already what I mean about the pigment. That was just a little bit on the brush and it gives you already such a nice colour. So we're just going to work that in. Just build it up. Sort of swirl it out at the edges. I like to make my eyes quite big. Swirl. You can wing it if you want it more winged. It's kind of up to you. Ta-da! So we have our base colour. Now, as you can see, I've gone quite high when I'm doing it. Not always the intention. So I just keep a brush. This is one that just came in an Urban Decay set. And I keep it only for this purpose. I don't let any other colours touch it. And I will always take the cream colour here, put a bit on the brush, tap it off, and then use this to blend out. And this is really good because one, it gives you that really blended finish, and two, it lets you correct any little mistakes that you may have made. But that already, if you compare to the other one, is already looking a lot more natural and how I wanted it. So fear not if you're like me and a little bit messy. So you're trying to get them like even heights, if you can see. So we have an even look, and as well this is nice because it highlights the brow bone, which is always what we want. So now I'm going to keep with my crease brush. I'm going to keep with my crease brush, and I'm going to take this colour to the right of it, the slightly redder one, because what this look is all about is warming up and building those colours. So now we're going to work this to the exact same place, but you can see it's already a much more ready tone. That's quite a good trick for getting in the corner. You look a bit weird, but kind of look the other way. It's kind of like a little, give it like a little eyelid workout. And it just lets your brush get in where you want it to go. So we're looking nice and red, which is good. And then again, I'm just going to blend it out. I can't stress enough how much of good eyeshadow is down to blend. Work that blend. So I'm going to use another brush. This is also Zoeva. It's their Look Soft Definer in 227. It's just a bit smaller and a bit flatter. And I'm going to take this colour in the right bottom corner, tap off your excess, and just work this into the corner. So we're just trying to build up a bit of definition, a bit of smokiness. Oh, I love the pigments in this so much. And same on this side. Just into that corner. Because this brush isn't as a chubby head, it just gives you a bit more precision when you're trying to build up the smokiness. So now this is looking quite dramatic, which I love. So we've got our dramatic outer sides. Now I'm going to take my finger and use one of the shimmers, and she recommends, HUDA Beauty recommends applying these with the fingers, so you can use a brush if you want, but I think they definitely go on best with fingers. So I'm going to take this colour right here, put it on my finger, and then I'm going to sort of just run it along the inner little section here. Oh yeah. Yes. That shimmer. So then we're going to repeat on the other side. Right, so we have got our shimmer on. I'm now going to go back in with my chubbier brush, the 228, and I'm going to take that red to the right and just blend this in a bit. Just to make it a bit more sort of joined up. There we go. The final bit of eyeshadow, I'm going to take this brush, which is a very narrow, I use this often like under my eyes to blend it out, but it's also good for using on the lid when you want to be really precise. This is called a Luxe Pencil 230, also Zoeva. And I'm going to take this colour in this top on here, tap it off, and just really work this into the crease now, just to give that a real like depth. Oh. See? Wow. See the difference? Depth, no depth, depth, no depth. Just repeat on the other side. See how lovely all the colours just blend together. Just give you this really nice dramatic look. As you can see, I've done mine quite rounded. As I said, you could like wing it more if you wanted. It's kind of up to you. So now we have our top eyeshadow done. I'm going to just take an eyeliner. I just use Rimmel Exaggerate eyeliner. I find it does the job. I start in the middle, pull my eye taut and just work out. Just take it slow. Repeat on the other side. Okay, so now we have our two lids lined. Now I want to try and do a little flickeroony. Now, as you all know, this is the hard part in trying to get them equal. So just take a deep breath and hope for the best. So I'm going to start in the corner. Okay, not too shabby. Okay, so I've now added the flicks on. I kind of just had to keep going in between the two. I had a bit of the classic, make this one longer, make that one longer, and suddenly your flicks are like up here, but you know, as I said at the start, it's a dramatic look, so we will roll with it. So also, as I said at the start, I wanted it to be fun and it's kind of glitter, Valentine's romantic look. So I'm going to add some of the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner. This is in shade Junk Show. So I'm hoping to run this on top of my black eyeliner just to give it an extra glitter pop. Alternately, you could run it along the crease if you've done a cut crease. The stress of the eyeliner alone was enough for me today. So I've got my glitter on my wand. Just going to run this. Ooh. Run it along. So we've got our tops of our eyes done, but the bottoms are looking a little quiet. Take this shade here. I'm using my pencil brush again. I'm just going to run it under the eye. I don't know why, but I always feel like when you add the under eye, everything comes together. Also, this is a great look if you're a bit tired. Just make it as dramatic as you want and hide those bags. And then, just because that now mirrors the smoky blown out shade we've done, but just to add a bit more, you're going to get the darker colour in the top right. And just run that more tighter to your waterline, so don't drag that. Ooh, don't drag that down as much because then we'll go a bit Halloweeny. Ta-da! So now we have a nice pinky, ready, smoky Valentine's eyes. I know that a lot of tutorials use false eyelashes. I am still learning how to work with false eyelashes. So today, to make my eyelashes pop, I'm going to be using Benefit's Roller Lash. And that's a mascara. So it's not false eyelashes, but it still gives like a really, you know, cool. So that is eyes done. As I said at the start, I've got some concealer and foundation on, but I haven't done any of my sort of a bit of contour or highlight or blush or anything like that, so I'll just do that now. Also need to add the old brows. So to start with, I'm going to just add a bit of sort of warmth to my face, kind of contour it but not properly because the eyes are quite dramatic, so I don't feel the... just drop my brush. Because the eyes are quite dramatic, I don't feel that I need to have a really like sculpted out face. So to do that, I'm going to take HUDA in Benefit, and I'm going to use another Zoeva brush. This is their Luxury Cheek brush in 127. I was using this for so long for my blusher, and I still do, but I also find like just the shape of the brush is really good for like sculpting out your cheeks, and this brush definitely needs a wash. So I know people love HUDA of like many different skin tones because it's quite a cool brown for using to like contour or just like warm up the face, and so hopefully you know, you find this one works for you too. So whenever I want to sculpt up my face, I tend to go from like ear to where your eye ends is quite tempting, to the whole like straight down, and also some people shape it more around their cheeks. It kind of depends on your face shape, but like I say, I like to go kind of dish 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 dish, as I will demonstrate. So do the whole, if you're eating something sour. Ta-da! And don't worry, you can always blend this out if it looks a bit harsh. And then I take it and I just run it on my forehead, particularly when I've got like my hair tied up like today and it's a bit like, whoa, it's a lot of forehead, just to warm that up. I also put it on my chin, and you could, if you wanted to kind of give yourself a bit of a slimmer face illusion, perhaps you can run it under the chin, like under the jawline, sorry, not under the chin, and this kind of just helps that. And then finally I also just put it on the tip of my nose. Obviously I was doing the proper contour, you could run it down, etc. So we've gone cheeks, forehead, chin, nose, and a bit under the jaw. So I always tend to take just a this brush I just purely use for sort of powdering things off. It's actually just a non-branded one from Superdrug, but it's just a great big brush for just kind of, right, you're gonna have to move, just blending things out and making it just look a bit more natural. So there we go. So then I'm going to take blush. I'm going to use the same brush, which is maybe like not the right thing to do, but it works for me. And I'm going to take MAC in, this is Mineralized Warm Soul. Again, this is quite like a cool tone blusher and quite like a brownie base, so it is tempting, like, to want to be like, oh, Little Miss Rosy Cheeks, but actually, like I say, when you've got quite dramatic eyes, less blush is needed. I've really changed recently the way I put blusher on, because I think I was definitely guilty being like, it was a bit too much. So I tend to start more like here, brush the blush brush backwards, and if you can say that, you're allowed to do it. So start here and just do a little like, just brushing my blush back. And you see that like warms up the cheek without being too like, whoa. The faces you have to pull to get good makeup. Wow. So there we have a much warmer face. So now I'm going to do the favourite part of most girls' makeup routine, I think, and that is time to highlight. So today, to highlight, I'm going to be using the new palette from Makeup Revolution. This is the one designed by Soft Nails. Mine's so scratched already, but it's because I use it so much. I'm going to actually use this colour in the top right on my cheeks, because I just think it's really pretty. It's not too goldy, so it's not too like shkapow, but it also has enough colour in it. I'm also going to, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brush. This is just a highlighter brush from Real Techniques. I'm going to put it on the brush, tap a bit off, and then do my new all-time favourite hack. Take some of MAC's Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray. This is in coconut. Spritz it on the brush, and then you just like pack it on the face, and oh my lordy, shkabam, shkabam. That is just the dream. I have very dry skin naturally, and I love the powdered highlighters, but I found that often they would just kind of sit on the skin as a powder. But when you add this like bit of the MAC's Fix, all your dreams are answered, because it just makes it blend so well, and it just makes it look as if it was almost like coming out of the skin, like, of course I've always been here. So we're just going to add it here. In the past, I've definitely been tempted to do here, apples of the cheeks, everywhere, but I'm kind of learning that less is more. I also like to highlight the tip of my nose, and for that I use the gold shade or the bronze, depending on sort of the look, but I think today, because of everything else that's going on, I'm going to use the gold. So again, just take some of the brush, spritz, and then just tap it on your little nose. And that just gives you a nice highlight. You can also obviously do your Cupid's bow here. So again, I kind of go between the gold and the lighter gold for this. So last things to get done now are our eyebrows and our lips. So I would love to live in a world where I had Anastasia the pomade eyebrow gel, but I am using just a knockoff from Superdrug. It's a pomade, it's from Ardell. It works for me for now. So I take the brush and just comb through, and then just take a little bit on the slanted side of the brush, and then I just kind of tap it in here to make me look like I have more eyebrow hair than I have. Just tap, tap, tap. Same on the other side. And then we just run it through the rest of the brow, kind of shaping it as you go. as I say, I watch lots of Anastasia and they look amazing, but this doesn't do too bad a job. So I like to make it bolder as I go through the tail of the brow. What is so good about these like pomades is just, I think everyone has gaps in their brows or areas they'd like to fill, and with these it's like, oh, you never existed. As you can see, I like to really lengthen my brows. I like that kind of old school Hollywood look, but I'm really trying recently to keep less here because then otherwise it can look a bit sluggish. So yeah, the brow look is kind of evolving. Bear with me as I go on this brow adventure. So now last thing to do is our lips. It's tricky when you've got such kind of lively eyes and we've got our highlighter and everything, but it is Valentine's and it is meant to be quite a bold look, so I thought I'd go for a bold lip. So I am gonna use this shade in MAC. Ooh, it is Dark Side Amplified. I love this colour because it's just like, I'm here, I've arrived. Unfortunately, I don't have a lip liner, but I find it goes on okay without, so. Oh. Okay, and that is the complete look, so I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and please give it a thumbs up if you did. I'll come a bit closer so you can see it. As I said, apologies, you know, I haven't got the best equipment to show it, but you're seeing it in all its naturalness. This is just natural light, there's no light boxes or filters, etc. So this is what I can achieve, and I'm sure you can achieve it too. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll post another video soon. Bye.